Good evening, friends. Good evening. Welcome to Onodidi, folks. It's about 11:30 at night, and I want to talk with you again for about 10 minutes, and then I'll let you go off to bed and allow you to do whatever you guys do at night, wherever you are. Anyway, folks, in the last year or so, I've been talking to a lot of people from every part of the world. It's been the best part of this YouTube thing. I enjoy connecting with folks, and I'm really loving that part. Talking to people through those who are commenting, those who are reaching out individually. It's been wonderful. But there's a group of Africans living in diaspora who are very bitter about having supported their partners, who are very bitter about having brought their partners to the Western world. And then years later, things did not turn out the way they thought. So the question is it worth really supporting your partner as a person who lives in diaspora? Is the risk worth it? I don't know what the answer is, and that's what I want to talk with you for about 10 minutes. Because on the one hand, I see people who have supported their spouses and partners, and they're doing so well. They're working as a team, and things seem to be doing really well. And I couldn't be any happier for it. And by the way, that's one way to succeed in the West. If you find a partner with the right head, and you find a partner with whom you match, and you put things together, it is one way, one of the many ways you can do really well. But I've also seen people who are together, but run their separate projects. In fact, I recently met somebody whose details I will not share because this was shared in confidence. And he or she was talking to me about his apartment and the wife's apartment and just having different things. I'm like, this is actually interesting. But there are people who are not very happy, having really invested in their partners and things did not work out. So let's talk about this in about 10 minutes or so, as we always do. I don't mean to take too much of your time, so as I always ask, 10 minutes should be good enough. Welcome to the village, folks. If you're just finding us for the first time, this is Wonodede. Wonodede is just a title, which means the father of Odede. I'm joining you from Kisumu, Karatain in Western Kenya. This is a home we enjoy. This is a place we call our paradise. It's not anything grandiose, but it works for us. However, I spend time on both ends of the world. I'm both here in Kenya, but I also spend a few months in Long Beach, California. And my overall plan is to permanently move back here. So those who have a similar mindset that need help, need support, those who need construction, those who need finding land and all that stuff, my number is always here. Feel free to text me. I'm happy to reach out. I may call you, I might text you, whatever works for you, let me know. But this is what we do. I am very passionate about people creating a dignified life in Africa. And this is what we are trying to do. We are not there yet, but I anticipate in the next maybe couple of months, couple of years, we will be there. I'm very passionate about people coming back and leading a dignified life. It does not have to be anything expensive. By the way, our lives are fairly inexpensive here. I know that term is relative, but you can live a very inexpensive, very fulfilling life in Africa. Join us and let's do that. So let's talk about this. Excuse, somebody is calling. Is one more. All right, folks. So let's talk about this subject of people supporting their partners. And some cases things work out. In other cases, it doesn't work out. So yes, of course, the question is, do you really have a choice? Because for many of us, when we start life, rarely is it the case that we start on the same level, whether you're talking about finances, whether you're talking about career progression, whether you're talking about social life, and many other areas. You will always find one partner who is ahead of the other, whatever ahead may mean. One partner may be earning more than another, very typical. One partner may be more educated, one partner may be socially more savvy, have bigger networks and all that stuff. That is typically, that's very common. And so it is not unusual for there to be a greater need on one end versus another. And as a partner, do you really have the choice to say, hey, this is on you? You figure it out. Many people don't have that choice. My overall point is that given what I've seen, I would still say it is absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it to invest in your partner. Because then what's the alternative? Do you just sit there and say, hey, you figure it out? And especially when you're still younger in life, the people who meet later in life, let's say you are in your 60s or maybe late 50s and you meet a partner, at that point it's a different story. But when you meet each other early in life, maybe in your 20s, 30s, perhaps 40s, I think there is the benefit of investing in your partner is far greater than the risk. Because again, in my mind, maybe I'm just a little naive. In my mind, I'm thinking if you support your partner to do better, then the whole team does better. Uh, I know there are people who do this sort of like an investment that I'm putting in and I'm expecting something out. I can't blame you for that. However, this is the one group that gets disappointed the most. You've seen cases in the US particularly where some people bring their spouses from Africa, put them through nursing school or medical school or whatever that may be, and once their spouses go through the ladder and are now doing well financially, then these individuals in their minds, the spouse that was supported really owes them their lives. And I think that is one way to set yourself up for failure. If you're investing in your partner and in your mind you think they owe you their lives, you're really setting up yourself for failure. Because what is going to happen is that as soon as they get on their feet, then you start demanding for stuff. When at that point, they're really just trying to set things up. And too bad for you, at that point, they actually have a choice. Because if you met when your spouse was not in a good place financially, and then years later in a different space, if you push things too far, they really have a choice to walk away and just move on and you're done. I've seen cases where some Africans actually even end up killing their partners. And their reasoning is, I got this guy from Africa, or I got this guy from wherever, supported him through school, paid his tuition. I mean, I brought him even before he knew how to drive, did X, Y, Z. And as soon as he got his medical license, as soon as he got his first paycheck, he was out of the door. And people decide, you're not getting away with it. You're not getting away with it, and I'm going to do something about it. So I think that expectation of I'm investing in you and you owe me your life really sets you up for problems in future. So maybe another way to look at it is do the right thing simply because it is right. I mean, I can understand how you would be disappointed if you support somebody and then they go off on their way. I can totally understand that. But if you're doing it simply because it's the right thing to do, perhaps it might be easy to deal with it if ever things go a different way. Because unfortunately, what I see happening is that in many cases, maybe not all cases, when one partner begins to do well, trouble starts. Especially if the partner who is doing well now is the female partner. For whatever reason, and I've done a video on it that is going to be posted sometime soon. But anytime, for some reason, whenever things change and the female partner is doing well, trouble starts. And I'm not blaming this on the women. I say that adjustment can be difficult on both ends. So if at all it's possible for you to support your partner, you are willing to sacrifice. Because sometimes it means you have to put somebody through school, you have to do more with the family, do everything possible. If you have that opportunity, do it simply because it's the right thing to do. But don't come in with that mindset of, hey, I'm putting in this and I'm expecting you to sort of quote unquote repay me for all the sacrifice I did. That will set you up for failure. Can I understand why people do that? Absolutely. I can understand that. But when you walk in with the expectation that, hey, I'm doing this, and in return you do something back, that is going to be a problem. Because when things change, you are in trouble. And especially those of us who still have very conservative mindset around gender relations, where we think that supporting even our children, I hear parents tell kids, hey, I gave birth to you, I took you to school, I did this, therefore I require you to do X, Y, Z. No, your child did not ask to be brought to the world. Your child never asked you to pay for their fees. You chose to do that. And in fact, even if you didn't, it was your responsibility. As a parent, it is my responsibility to raise my kids, both legal and moral responsibility. And so if I take care of my kids, feed them, house them, clothe them, educate them, they don't owe me a thing. I mean, I would be very disappointed if they went off and did their own thing somewhere that was not helpful. But I was simply fulfilling my legal, moral, spiritual responsibility. Yeah. And if it works out, fine. If it doesn't, too bad for me. Anyway, folks, I'm curious to hear this, but I know there are many, many folks who are disappointed. People who put in work, did everything possible, and as soon as their partners got on the ground, things changed. Yeah. So again, in my mind, I think just do the right thing because it is the right thing. If it works out, great. But if it doesn't, hey, life happens. You can always move on. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this and feel free to share your thoughts. Thank you. Bye.